Hi there, here's Christina from Changing Parenting, and you probably, if you're a mom, and also a dad, you probably already experienced the different expectations that society has for moms and dads. And so, for instance, they might see a dad in the supermarket with their child and say, "Oh, nice, how nice of you to babysit for your wife." Or, they might see your husband cooking and say something like, "Oh, how nice, how lucky you are that your husband cooks." And I know that these things might seem just annoying, but they are actually really good learning experiences, teaching experiences for your child, right? Because it's important that we teach our children, of course. If you're watching this, you don't believe in those things, right? And you need to teach your child why. And these are great teaching opportunities. And again, it's not about convincing the other person. It's not about the other person at all. It's just about your child. So you need to say those things that you want your child to learn. And this is a great teaching opportunity, right? So you can say something like this. Many people believe that fathers are not very involved with their children, but that is called a stereotype. And again, you're not talking to their child, you're talking to the person. And you might be talking in a way that sounds like, condescending to the person, but it's not because you want to be condescending or anything. It's just because you want to teach your child, right? So you need to talk in a way that teaches your child what this is about, right? So you have to say, some people believe that fathers don't take care of their children, but that's actually a stereotype. And parents, my husband or I, right, if you're the father, I am very involved in my child's life, and I come to the supermarket with my child the same way that my wife comes to the supermarket with my child, because those things are stereotypes. And then you can even ask your child and say, "Isn't it so that mommy and daddy both come to the supermarket with you?" And then after you leave, right, because then ignore the person. You don't need to continue here it's not about convincing other people. It's just about teaching your child skills. So just end the conversation, leave, and then when you're alone with your child, depending on your child's age, you can start a conversation about that. About stereotypes, about how people sometimes believe certain people will behave a certain way, and that's not true, right? The same way with the cooking, right? You can even say to your child, so for instance, in my house, my husband does the cooking. He spends more time in the kitchen than I do, right? I do other things. We all help each other. We are a team at home, right? So when people say something like, "You are very lucky that your husband cooks," I say, that's true. I'm very lucky to have him, and he's very lucky to have me, because we share tasks in our home. And then I tell my son, explain to them, what tasks do you do here at home? What things do you usually do? We all share with different chores around the house, right? And because there are no specific, the idea that women are meant to be in the kitchen is called a stereotype. And again, it's all about talking to the person, because again, children are listening, they are paying attention. And when you let those things slide, when you just smile and say yes, they start to wonder if that maybe is true, right? If maybe it's wrong that dad is in the kitchen, that maybe it's wrong. So it's important that you correct people, not because of the person, but because of your child, because your child is listening. And as a way of always think about any challenging situation as a teaching opportunity. Every challenging situation, as I always say, challenging behavior is just your child needing skills. Well, challenging situations are usually your body is telling you something is wrong here, and you need to listen to that, and you need to use that as a teaching opportunity for your child, if your mental state allows you, of course. The most important is to protect your bubble, right? So if it's too much for you, don't do it. Just do these things in moments when you are able, when your cup is still empty and you're still able to fill it up a little and have these talks with people. If it's too much for you, don't do it. It's really important we protect our mental well-being so that we are able not to overreact to our child, so that we are able to have the ability to self-regulate better when things happen and be the parents we want to be. And whenever we can, whenever our mental well-being allows us to do so, it's important to use all the challenging situations as much as possible as teaching opportunities to our child. If you want to know how to do this, just let me know.